Welcome to Fashionably Spiritual, a space for modern, soul-led conversations and high-frequency living for the ever-evolving and empowered self. Host Nancy Muratalla is a dedicated international spiritual medium, healer, and mentor. Nancy is passionate about using her abilities to not only support others in their healing journey, but also to teach them how to connect with their inner spiritual selves. Host Jennifer Rose is an international spiritual medium, healer, channeler, mentor, and spiritual guide. She encourages others to live a purposeful and empowered life through the Know Thyself journey, conscious living, and the power of unconditional love. Full of candor, soulful insight, and feminine fierce, Fashionably Spiritual shines to guide you on your soul's journey of aligning and elevating, all while finding inspiration for your own unique spiritual expression and personal energetic style. Now, here are your hosts, Jennifer Rose and Nancy Muratalla.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fashionably Spiritual. I'm Jennifer Rose, and Nancy will be joining me shortly. Thank you, everyone, so much for your patience here tonight. We were both having computer problems today, and Nancy has almost made it back. So hang in there with us just a little bit longer. Really happy to see all of you here this fine Monday evening. Hi to Mary. Good to see you. Hello, Isabel. How are you today? Thank you all for joining us here. Much appreciated, too. I see Rosalind is here with us too, so nice to see you. And there's our dear Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. And hello, Lisa Paris. Hi. How are you ladies doing tonight? Really good to see all of you. And there's Miss Maggie Martin. Hello, darling. And Cup of Tea. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. I love the name. Jenny. Hello. Welcome. Good evening to you. I'm curious where everybody is joining us from. Is anyone, is it in the middle of the night for anybody there? Okay, Maggie from Canada. Hello, good to see you. Okay. Do we have anybody overseas across the pond, which makes it like 2, 3, 4 a.m. for you guys? God bless you for staying up. Okay, I'm so happy to see all of you here today. And we are going to have a beautiful show. We promise you to. And again, it's like these tech issues happen, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Miss Fran Pierce, hello. Vanaye, hello. And I see Charlene, hello too. Hello, everybody who's joining us. So everybody's coming on in. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Really happy to see you. Few quick announcements, at least the ones that I can remember. We're a little frazzled from our tech issues too. I am also the host of Embracing Infinity on Fridays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. in the UK. So that will be coming on this coming Friday as well. My dear friend Lynn Juno also is going to have her Kaleidoscope of Color show before that, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK. So it's going to be a whole day of shows on Friday because we also have the Psychic Hour and Spiritually Imperfect as well. And then this coming Saturday, I'm really happy to announce we've got our monthly messages from the Enchanted Realms. And that will be streaming live on my pages, on the Sacred Spiral Network YouTube page, on the Veronica Jenkins Online Live Psychics Reading page as well, too. I host that with the dear Fran Pierce, and we call her Fairy Fran, and the angel messenger Shannon Rattay. We connect with the fairy realms, the angels, our loved ones, dragons, whoever would like to join us. And it's also Fairy Fran's birthday and it's summer solstice. So we've got a 3 for you this coming Saturday. It's at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time and 10:30 p.m. in the UK. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be so much fun. And we're going to be giving Fran a very fun birthday treat while we're there. So please come celebrate with us. And we're going to be giving a lot of messages as well. So it's extra magical. I want to say hi to Joey, who's joined us as well. If you could help me get caught up here, Kelly. I know I missed a few names. I see Paul Russell is here with us. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Krish. Again, how are you doing? You're in South Africa. What time is it there, love? Yeah, we can see your comments, Krish. I can see you, love, too. Okay, and Maggie McLean. Thank you, Krish. Good to see you. Okay, am I all caught up? Linda, hello. 1:30 p.m. Tuesday in New Zealand. How cool is that? I love being international. So all across the world, we're connected in love and friendship and magic and all good things, beautiful and wonderful and spiritual here today. Um, okay. I think Nancy's here. Hello, Nancy. You made it.
Hi, thank you for your
How you doing,
patience.
girlfriend?
I'm woof, a little hot.
I know you're
Coming in
that's okay. Remember last time it was me, I had all kinds of sound issues. So for whatever reason, but we're here, we made it, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna rock and roll. So here we go.
That's right. It's a good thing it's an evening show because we are coming in hot.
I know. So hot
Oh my!
we're both flipping out our computers. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I gotta roll up
Well,
my sleeves here.
right. Well, everybody's been super patient with us, Nancy. So we've got all of our beautiful friends here too. I know, Fran. Oh boy, it's your birthday. We were just making the announcements for the Friday shows. We've got Lynn shows, Kaleidoscope of Colors, Embracing Infinity, Psychic Hour, and Spiritually Imperfect. And then we've got the messages from the Enchanted Realms on Saturday and Fairy Friend's birthday. So it's a special celebration. And it's the first day of summer, which is my favorite season. So, so
Woohoo!
all right.
Incredible.
Take a take a breath,
So
beautiful. Hi, Gwendolyn.
There's so much happening right now. The Sacred Spiral Network is just on fire right now. Kelly's just knocking them out of the park. We have so
I
many
know.
great shows coming up, so many new shows coming up. It's
It's
going to be a
3:30
hot
a.m. where Trish is in South Africa. Oh wow. Yeah. Everybody who's watching,
celebration.
just staying tuned. Yeah, because there's a whole bunch of new shows that are coming on that Kelly is working on too. I don't know how she does it. She literally is Superwoman. So we're gonna have to
She
buy her
truly,
a
a lot. I don't know what, but a
cape.
lot.
Okay. Okay. I
So
thought of an
how's
idea.
everybody? Yes, go. What do we
I
got?
think everybody's doing well. I'm very excited because they've all been so patient with us. So we're going to make sure that. Oh, Jessie Cat's here. Hi, Jessie Cat. Good to see you. Hi, Mara. See, we've got a
Hello,
beautiful group here today. Hi, Heidi from Colorado too. Okay.
Sharon,
There.
Joey. Hello, everyone.
You're fanning yourself. You must have
Sorry. I'm
too
trying
much
to do it
stress.
low-key.
I know it's too much stress trying to get your computer working. Okay, beautiful angel. Well, here's what I thought. We've got summer solstice coming up on the 21st, on this coming Saturday. So we've got a change of seasons coming up. So I thought we could chat with our group here about, like new beginnings or things we might want to create or start up for us too. So I kind of had that idea mulling around, Nancy, too. And we were
Yeah.
talking yesterday. I think you tuned in yesterday when I was on the live for the magazine with Laurie Smith, and we were talking about healing from grief, but then also how do we live our best life and live a life that's thriving, like really thriving, not just living, but like thriving. And I thought maybe we could speak a little bit about that. And everybody here who's joined us, we love you very much. Please feel free to interact with us and add to the comments. And we would love to hear what you have to say about this too, and any questions about any spiritual topics you might want answered as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was such a great topic that you all touched on. I mean, I really was hanging on to every word. You know, I think for me personally, it's about really setting your daily intentions. And because I feel like we can get lost in all of it and life can be so chaotic, not to mention when you're dealing with any type of a grief or a loss, or just really stressful situations. And, and I've said this before, like even when I'm driving to work, I'm thinking about what I want my day to look like. I'm setting the intention of it hopefully being calm, maybe even being a better listener, taking more pauses. So this is really a great topic. We would love to hear, comments from all of you. What helps you, live your best life and really thrive and do more than just, getting up every day and doing the same thing and going to work. Like, what do you do to thrive? What do you feel? what do you do to feel that peace and joy in your life?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And hey to Jess and Michael Christopher, who's joined us too, and Bernadette, good to see you too. Um, it really is a practice with a lot of intention, and it's like it's a lot of work, but it's worth it, you know. But
Yeah,
there is a difference between going through the motions of life and actually living with intention and purpose. And and with the intention and purpose to make each day as good as we can get. And some days are going to be better than others. We'll knock it out of the park some days, and then some other ones it's going to be a little bit slower moving, and that's okay too. But like, what do we, when it's our turn to pass on to spirit world, what do we want to leave? Like, what is our legacy that we want to leave with, of how well we lived, how well we loved, the connections that we made, the experiences that we've had, because we are a collection of memories and experiences at the end of the day, all connected in love. And so I think it takes a lot of
yeah,
mindful, purposeful intention. And Mary is talking about staying in the moment. Joey goes for walks. Do you
yeah,
want to take over? Hi, Jesse.
yeah.
Is
Those
it?
are all really good ones. Meditation and journaling in nature helps me.
Yeah,
Hi, Jesse. Let's see. I'm existing. The other side reminds me to live. Hey, that's a really good one. The other side reminds me to live.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
very, very profound in what that actually means too, because we know that life continues, it doesn't end. And I can't remember who I heard talking about that they don't like to use the word that somebody has died, because they haven't really died. They have just transcended into another dimension, another realm. So that's really, I really loved that, Bernadette. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
Uh,
And
Evelyn
Nancy,
says focusing on change. Yeah.
whatever catitude. Catitude is the attitude. Prayers, meditation, and emotional freedom. I love that. A little catitude's not so bad, darling. It's okay. It's okay. But I wanted to piggyback on what you said a little bit, Nancy, because we're both mediums. And how many apologies have we delivered from spirit world, taking accountability, giving apologies, but then also so many messages of wanting us to live, especially if it's, say, a spouse who has died or passed on to spirit to his beloved here, or if it's maybe someone's lost a child. They want the person who's still here in the physical to go on living and to find joy, because they have that understanding of how short it actually is. It feels long, but to spirit world, it's a blip in time. It's a heartbeat. It's the blink of an eye, right? And I know we have multiple lifetimes, but we only have this one as us. We only get to be Nancy and Jennifer this one life. And so you have to really stop and pause what you want to do with it, and what, what's worth keeping, what's worth, doing. And it's a profound thought. But that's why we're here,
Yeah.
right? That's why we're here. We're having this show. And we've got a lot more truth wave energy, being in charge of my reaction to any given situation. Your turn, Nancy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That's so good. Let's see. We can create our own happiness or unhappiness. Yeah, that's a really good point, Mary. And life is not a bed of roses. We're gonna have our tough days. So it is a matter of how you set your intention. What do you want your day to be? Michael Christopher.
What did he say? I
Oh,
can't see
goodness
it.
gracious.
Where's Michael Christopher?
He's just being Michael Christopher.
Oh, okay. We love you, Michael.
We do, we do.
Oh my God.
You know,
That's okay. We love you just the way you are too. But
yeah,
it's like we're all going to have good days and bad days, but like we were saying, like the choice to be happy, it really is a choice. It's like you got to want it, when you make that final decision to make a profound change in your life, like you have to want it. And so even like for me, even if I'm going through a hard time and or going through something rough and having a hard day or moving through my own grief or feelings about something I'm going through too, it's like it's not affecting my actual overall happiness, anymore. I'm able to hold them at the same time, but it's taken me a lot of work to get there. But I made a decision over a year ago, especially, like, no matter what, I'm choosing to be happy no matter what. And that does not mean disassociating from my sadness. It means I'm appreciating my life and holding it with deep reverence and devotion to trying my best each day. And I keep getting up and going, just keep getting up and going.
Yeah,
Biscuits
yeah,
and gravy.
that's
Hello.
that's great. And let's talk a little bit too, Jennifer, about, there's different, we can be spiritual, we can have these belief systems. But let's talk a little bit too about, protecting your energy, whether it's in the workplace, whether you're visiting family. We almost might feel like, depending on what we're going to be doing, that we might want to have some things that are in our toolbox, that are in our awareness, that help us feel a certain way to help protect our energy. And, one that comes to my mind is, with being spiritual, with having these different modalities, whether you're a medium, whether you're not a medium, whether you're a healer or not, what do you do to protect yourself? Like, even when you go into the workplace, because that is a very conditioned place to be, where you have to follow certain formats and certain structures. So I would love to hear anybody's thoughts on, what do you do to prepare yourself when you go to work? Do you think about that? Do you set intentions? Do you kind of set up your energetic boundaries? Putting yourself in a white bubble, gold, purple, permeate, to protect that energy. Because when you're around people, there's a chance you're going to feel everyone else's energy as well.
Yeah. Well, don't you bad talk about it's nice. Ellen, you're so funny. We're back
A bit
on
of a
Michael
rascal.
Christopher's antics.
Yeah, he is definitely a bit of a rascal.
They're having a whole separate party over there. That's okay. That's okay. I think it gets better over time. There are some days where I feel more vulnerable, and I might need to feel like I need to use a tool and do some kind of clearing, like call in the violet flame or something like that. But I'm really trying to get to the point where, like, the more that I know me and the more I can, like, stay in my power, then I'm trying to get to the mindset where, like, if I know who I am as a spiritual being, then I'm able to kind of transcend some of the 3D beliefs, and then whatever, like, it's just like, let it come at me, because I'm untouchable at this point. You know what I mean? It's like I already know I'm going to
Yeah.
survive everything no matter what happens. That said, if I'm not quite in that, superpower mode, then yeah, that's when you might need to be using your tools, and that's okay too, because that's an empowerment tool as well. We are all energy, indeed, too. So it's nice if we can get there, but I do know that we have days where we just feel a little bit lower and we can't quite be in that space too. But I feel like if we can work towards getting there, like work towards getting there, and that's really through, like, knowing yourself and integrating and all of that too. One thing I like to do, Nancy, too, is, and I forget sometimes, but if you guys are all, like, going into spaces, like, let's say you're going into, like, a big store, you know what kind of stores I'm talking about. And you're like, oh God, the fluorescent lights, the people, their your parents yelling at their kids, all this kind of stuff, crowds, all that kind of stuff happening, right? And it's like, but if you put yourself in, like, that superpower mindset, and I used to do this when I taught my energy class in person, and I would pick somebody in class, and I'd say, okay, who was really nervous when they came into class, and feeling really sensitive? Exactly. There, Michael Christopher said it. He said, we're all thinking about the same store. Okay. All right. So I took my student. I took my student who was feeling that way, and we would go outside, and then the whole class would be waiting, and I'd be like, okay, just walk in like you did when you first got here, and they would walk in like they did when they first got there. And then I'm like, okay, now we're going to do it differently, and we go back out, and I'd be like, put your shoulders back, smile, put your head up. You're gonna do like a little Superman, Superwoman thing. And I'm like, you walk in like you own that place. You're the CEO, you're the manager of place. So you totally change your energy in there. And they would do it, and everybody would be like, oh my God. And they'd be clapping and coming. Now you got to remember, because I forget to. I forget to do it, even though that's
great. I love that.
But it works.
Yeah.
It actually works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Channel what you want to feel when you go into that place, because it's all part of us. We just have to access it. It's like, no, it's funny, Mike. You're just reading our minds. You must be psychic.
When you were talking about the store, I had glanced over at his message. I'm like, oh my gosh.
He must be psychic, or I am. I don't know. All right. All right, let's catch up.
Oh
all right. The big store. So yeah, everybody's agreeing with that. Wally World, Evelyn?
Dolly World, maybe?
Evelyn said Wally World. Isn't that from the show, from the movie? The big store is a different. Hi, Benny. I think that's the first time I've seen you on our live, Benny. Good to see you. Okay. Okay. And looking for the positive out of the negative, Jenny was saying too. I love that too. Hello, Michael. How are you?
Yeah. Yes.
Good to see you,
Mr.
Michael
Zinn.
Zinn. How you doing?
Nice. And there's also other things that we can do. And really, I've just recently, well, I don't want to say I've recently been learning about it, but I guess I just haven't really been applying it. But people even talk about, fashion versus frequency, where, everything is energy, and people are, colors that you want to bring in to create that energy. So what is it, like aesthetic versus energetic, or it's energy, it's energetic. So there's different colors that we can actually wear to help what it is we're trying to create as well.
Yeah, that's very true.
I don't know what today's color means. Jennifer.
In my you're absolutely right. And in my younger days too, I remember when I was working in a different field, and I ran into one of my coworkers at the store, and it was on a day off, and she's like, why are you dressed up on your day off to just be in this drugstore? And I'm like, well, because if you dress up, people treat you better at the stores. They just do. And I just knew it. I just knew that if that's what I did. I don't bother so much about that now, but it is true. You can do an experiment, go into a store, maybe it's a mall or something, see how you feel, in different outfits, and you'll kind of get that, and you'll see. We wish people wouldn't, judge by appearance and things like that, but it's kind of a human nature thing too. But it's also, I do think that sometimes what you're choosing for your attire can also bring out certain feelings in us too, right? They can bring out certain moods, right? So that could help you to channel what you're wanting to feel when you're going into a space that would normally make you feel more vulnerable and uncomfortable, so that you feel empowered when you go into that space too. Okay.
That's
or
right.
lack of
Agreed.
color.
And not to mention that it's kind of a state of mind of, when you put yourself together, and this doesn't apply for everyone, but I know for me, when I put myself together, I just feel better. Whether I'm going to the pharmacy or I'm going to the office, I just like to, I don't ever leave my house without makeup or putting my hair together. It just makes me feel, it's for me, it makes me feel good.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way too. Jasmine's asking what color we feel for her. I was feeling like a dusty rose. How about you, Nancy?
Ooh, yeah. You know, red is always such a, a powerful action, passion color. Um, so my first thought is always a red color. It's just such a powerhouse of a color and
Yeah, it
confidence, you know?
is. It is. Yeah, it helps with confidence. It helps with feeling grounded. Yeah, I would agree with you too. And Gabby
Gabby.
Sanchez is here. Vivian's here. Hi, Fran. Fran's like forever in blue jeans. You go, girl. Hi, Melody. Good to see you. um, Michael says it feels better when you put intention into presenting yourself. Too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
agree.
it's true. It's true. So, but that, let me see. Krish says she feels confident when she leaves the house dressed up and with her makeup on too. Yeah, I'm that way too.
Yeah.
It just makes you feel good. I don't think it's anything like some people could look at that as like, oh, like they're being superficial or something.
Jane.
I don't look at it that way. I like it's self-care and it's self-expression. And we're human. We came here to have fun and be human and express ourselves in different ways. And we may feel like t-shirt and blue jeans one day and a sundress the next day and what we're wearing today, like different moods on different days of how we want to feel and express ourselves. I think that's kind of awesome because didn't we come here to have fun too? Isn't life about fun too? We're allowed to
Right.
have fun.
And
Okay.
again, it's a very personal choice. Like honestly, when I see somebody, who, lets their natural hair color go and they don't care about wearing either no makeup or very little makeup, I say more power to you. God bless you. Because if that is how that makes you feel good, then you do that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Absolutely. Because it's not for everybody. Some people they just feel more close to nature that way and more close to
Yeah,
their own heart. And that's beautiful and spiritual too. It's all beautiful. So
exactly.
I guess the what we've come up with is that there's so many different ways and they're all beautiful. And can
Yeah.
we accept and embrace each other no matter what?
Yeah, agree. And not be judgmental and don't judge a book by
Yeah.
its cover and
Hmm.
all of those things.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. Okay.
So,
Let's see here.
so Michael
Look
says
good,
so
feel
many
good.
people forgot how to have fun. Yeah.
Evelyn likes to get dressed up when she's in a down mood. And so she says it's like decorating the Christmas tree. And
I
then
love that.
I'm a rainbow. I wear all the colors. I love that, Bernadette. And Jessica saying when she wears makeup, people give her attitude. She says, I don't know. My husband says every time you look nice, girls look at you ugly, which I do notice. Oh, they get a little jealous. Oh, well,
Oh, that's
you just
interesting.
keep
Yeah.
being you and doing you and, hold your head
Yeah.
up high, girlfriend. We love you.
That's interesting
So,
because like when I see somebody who looks nice or they have makeup on or they have some cute outfit on, I will say, "Oh my gosh, you look really nice today," or "Oh my
yeah.
god, you're beautiful." And I've had people say that to me, and I think that is so genuine when another woman can actually compliment another woman with no judgment or jealousy. And I make it a point if I see somebody that looks nice to let them know. And even if I don't like what they're wearing and they happen to catch my attention, I'm going to say something to them.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
yeah. I mean, and I think we're getting better with that. We're definitely, and I mean, there's different crowds of people that we can get to, and everybody's kind of on their continuum of their, what I'll say is their growth journey too. But like, like
Oh,
I know our group, Nancy, like we straighten each other's crowns and fluff each other's
yeah.
feathers. We don't do the
Oh, yeah.
opposite of that. We're not on that playground. So that's how we are. And I would, Chris always had insecurity, so dressing up makes you feel better too. And insecurity is also part of being human. that's, it's not wrong. It's just part of being human. And the more we grow into ourselves and we're all on this journey together, we will get more confident. And it does help though when we have people around us too that will help to also support that. So we can support each other's confidence as well. I think that's very healing if we can be that for each other. Hi, Courtney. Good to see you.
Agree.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Krish, you have to ask yourself sometimes, or actually all of us in general, when we talk about having insecurities, sometimes if you really kind of ask yourself, why do I feel insecure about this? And is there a reason? Is there a person that's making me feel this way? Like, if you really kind of tap into why you feel the insecurity, it might be easier to move past it. Because if you actually really think about why it's making you insecure, and I'll give you a great example. I had somebody in a work situation tell me, I feel so insecure about XYZ of my job. And I'm like, well, why do you feel insecure about it? Well, maybe I haven't had enough training in this area. Okay, so that sounds like that would be a great solution, is to gain more knowledge there. So it's not that you're feeling insecure, you just want to be able to have a little bit more knowledge about it and really kind of, dig deep into that and shake off the
Yeah.
word insecurity.
Yeah. I
It's a
love that,
deep word.
Nancy.
It's a really deep
Yeah.
word that we
It
we put
it
on
is.
ourselves.
It is, but everybody has them, and they can go very deep, and they can be very hidden inside of our minds, in the back of our minds, driving some of our behaviors, and we don't even realize it. So until you do the shadow work, and you're like you said, go why? Actually, ask yourself why, and that's also an opportunity to give yourself more love, to give that vulnerable heart that each of us has more love, and learn to be a parent to our own self, because we have to reparent ourselves from what we didn't get when we were children too. And even the jealousy word, like that's a normal human emotion that everybody's going to feel. But children are never taught what to do with that. They're just told, don't feel that way. And they never get taught. And it's like, well, what do you do with that? Where is that coming from? Can we use
Yeah.
that as an opportunity for more self love? But then it's also an opportunity. Well, then how can you level up your own life so that you don't feel that way anymore? Like that's an opportunity to level up for yourself, and this just and then turn it around into something better, right? And so
That's right. Right.
that's a whole big can of worms over there, but it's worth at least touching
Yeah,
on too. Yeah.
it really is. And Jasmine, she got great news that her supervisor was let go today for harassment and let some other people, and she's so
Of,
happy.
of
And sometimes
her,
it takes
I think it was her.
one person to, ruin the environment. And, we have more power than we think we do. And whether it's in the form of, in this particular work situation where you can actually go to HR and you can, have a complaint there, or take your own power. How we react to things means the world, and how we don't react means a lot as well. So we have way more power than we actually think we do.
Yeah. It's what Jasmine brings up is very important. If there's people who are in the workforce too, is there is a lot of structure of authority there too. And then if somebody is abusing their structure, um, for whatever reason that's going on with them, and and then you're subject to that, that's a very difficult thing to go through. And I do feel like we're probably still making progress in those areas, but I'm happy for you, Jasmine, that you got some freedom from that now, because that's a very
Oh,
difficult thing to go through.
yeah, very much so. I mean, I'm in a manager position, and there's so many rules that we need to abide by, so we're not crossing the line, we're not crossing boundaries. And you either take that seriously or you don't. And if you don't, you should not be in a position, whether you're a manager or not, there's certain things that you just do not do in the workplace, period.
Yeah. um that's and it's just one more opportunity for us to I think we could just learn to understand each other more. There's a lot of need to just understand why people do the things they do and behave the way they behave. And
Yeah,
if people are bringing their what I'll say is like unhealed parts of themselves and behaviors as a result from that, and then they're bringing it into public situations too, and then a lot of people are being affected by it too, and then some
yeah,
people they're all nice, at work and out in public, and then they're not nice to the people that they live with or that home too. So you get like a different combination. You're not so, but either way, it's also a tool to point to that we've got work to do. We've got work to do as a society to keep growing and integrating together.
yeah. Agree, agree. Kelly, can you bring Bernadette's message back up? I can see if I can find it. She says, I was teased a lot when I was a child. I did shut down and ignored myself for a while. Now I've picked up my crown and wear all my flaws with pride and love for myself. Oh, amen to you, sister. I love that.
I'm so happy. I'm gonna give you a hug.
As you should. That's awesome.
I
That's
know I want
very,
to cry for you. I want to cry with
very
happiness.
encouraging. Yeah.
It's not
That's a tough.
easy.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because those are little scars and wounds that we get from a very early age of people telling us things that aren't true. And then like we can for years run with these programs in the back of our head telling us we're not good enough and
Yeah.
we're not worthy of love or we're not valuable. And so to be able to rewrite those, like that's huge. That is one big
Yeah.
accomplishment.
It's a lot of work.
Hmm.
Yeah. God bless
That's
you,
huge. So
Bernadette.
congratulations, Bernadette.
You wear that crown proud.
Hmm.
That's
Using
awesome.
triggers to heal. Yeah, absolutely, Heidi. Triggers are just opportunities. Okay, why am I feeling this way? Which part of me is this? What can I do with this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Evelyn, do you want to read that one, Nancy?
I always compliment folks, especially if they look like they're having a bad day. I enjoy feeling more of a connection. I'm a senior citizen, so I can get away with even being silly.
We love you,
That's
Evelyn.
great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think it's really, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I think it's really cool that we finally have evolved to a place where we can openly talk about this stuff and encourage one another. Where if you think back to, generations past, they didn't have these kind of conversations. They didn't talk openly
Yeah,
about the things that hurt and how we can make it feel better. That's
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
yeah. I feel like we're doing some healing just by talking about this tonight. I think you froze, Nancy. Can you
Yes, I
still
did.
hear us? Okay.
I can,
Okay. Well,
yes.
I can still hear your voice, so that's good too. And Krish was saying she got bullied as a child too. So we're all on this like healing journey together, of healing the
Yeah,
past. It's really hard, and it makes me think, Nancy, too, that especially here in America and the West, we're very like achievement oriented, and we've learned kind of at a
yeah,
young age that we're responsible for making like the adults in our life happy, by getting good grades and behaving certain ways, and so we develop all these little protective mechanisms to try to like live, to try to live as safely as possible. And but as mediums, and I know we have a lot of mediums here as well, so this would be good for us to touch on. um it's really hard in the beginning when you're developing as a medium, because we have we're so worried about making a mistake, especially if you're getting up there, like if you're practicing a reading or practicing platform, and it's like the insecurity that comes with that, of having to like make a mistake, of like I got that wrong, and you don't want to let the loved one down, you don't want to let your teacher down, you don't want to let your sitter down, all of this stuff. And so mediumship has teaches us to like be okay with making a mistake or getting something wrong, but the internal mechanism that gets triggered in us of making a mistake, like that goes way back to when we were kids. If you don't get good grades, something bad's going to happen. If you don't behave a certain way, something bad's going to happen. If you don't act cool with your friends, something bad's going to happen. You don't dress the right way, something bad's going to happen. All of that kind of stuff too. And so that is the beauty of mediumship, is because it helps us to kind of start a journey of healing that. So we learn that we're okay no matter what. Like we don't have to be perfect all the time. We are that like spiritually imperfect, like Michael
Right.
Christopher's show.
That's right. Agree with you. And those are all things, you're right, that get programmed into us. And I don't even know if I want to open up the can of worms of there always has to be a winner. There's so much competition that we're instilled that somebody has to be the winner, somebody has to be the loser.
Yeah.
And that's tough. And I can't think of the saying, but I've had someone say to me, something about being, there's no second player, there's no winners don't come in second place, or there's some kind of saying that goes with that. And I don't know why I feel really touchy about that subject, because sometimes I feel like it does more good or more bad than good with somebody having to be the winner. And I get it. There's, professional sports, there's all of that. But in like the environment of our children and school, I don't know. I feel a lot of sensitivity around that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a difficult one. And it's a little, I mean, I know, our generation now with kids, there is a little there's I've seen improvements to where, like, if there's a team sport, like, all the kids get some kind of recognition for just participating, so it's getting better, but there's always more room to grow. I know someone was saying they have a hard time receiving a compliment too, and you don't, so, like, that's another thing too, because if you're used to people putting you down, like, learning how to receive a compliment can feel like, "What do I do with that?" I don't know, your nervous system doesn't know what to do with that. So it's like
Right.
we're learning how to teach our nervous system a new reality, and then teach our psychology a new reality too. It's hard. That's really hard
Yeah,
stuff
it is.
too. I want to thank everybody
It really,
for your comments. There's a lot of everyone sharing their vulnerability with us here, Nancy, and so we're very
no,
um,
thank you.
blessed.
We really are, being genuine, and we really appreciate that. Courtney,
Yeah.
yes, power is not always in numbers or multiple. It can be just one to make a difference. Absolutely.
Hmm. Yeah.
I apologize. I keep freezing up.
It's okay. We can hear you. It's okay. Power is not always in numbers or multiple. It can be just one to make a difference. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Um, Jasmine is saying sometimes taking other people's energies and for maybe in a medium gets me to drain and stuff. How do I get better at that too? Um, do you want to take that one, Nancy?
I'm sorry, which one is it?
So Jasmine is saying that I think she's saying she's a medium and she's taking on other people's energies and she gets drained and wants to know how to get better at that. Do I have that right, Jasmine? Did we understand your question correctly?
I think so. You know, I think that we all encounter that. And I do think, if I'm reading this correctly, and you can let us know, my feed is kind of freezing up, Jennifer. So if
She
she,
says yes. Yes, she says yes.
okay. So I think I'm
Okay.
understanding it that she's taking on her clients' energy as well.
Yeah, and she feels drained afterwards.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely has happened to me before, in a very emotional sense, because sometimes the messages come through very heartfelt. There could have been some type of an estrangement in the relationship, and it's a very sensitive conversation. I feel like with those readings, I do feel like I get a little bit more drained because I end up kind of feeling into it and letting my emotions be a part of it. So my only recommendation for you is, how do you not be human, right? We might be mediums, but we're human and we have feelings. I would say just do the best you can to somewhat disconnect yourself so that you can, have the messages come out and you can get them out clearly. Um, I don't know. That's a tough one, Jennifer. Like, how do you handle that?
Um, what I could add to that, Jasmine, is one thing as mediums we need to learn when we're receiving information is you get a piece and you let it go. You get a piece and you let it go, so you don't hold on to it. And usually, once you've said it and gotten it out, then it should move on, and then you get the next piece. But you may also be speaking of your clients or your sitters and you're feeling their grief or their emotion as well too because you're an empath too. So this is where it gets important to like again be able to let go of things sometimes because we are empathic and we have an energetic curiosity. We actually can be reaching out and touching energies of other people too, and we think it's come at us, but we've actually kind of went out and touched at it too. So that's something to be mindful of, learning your own energy by sitting in the power, and then being a little bit more conscious of what's happening there energetically. So we don't realize sometimes we're sending out feelers or streamers, and that's not wrong. It's just what we're used to doing, especially if we're trying to, from an early age, feel a space to decide what's safe or not. So we get used to feeling out all the time, and we have to learn to learn to feel in and like take it inward too, and learn your own energy and what you feel like. So that is also very helpful too. And the more you continue on your self journey and you're just emanating love and you get more integrated with your higher self too, you're able to hold that space for them better and keep a little bit of that separation. For it's not easy. I cry when I'm doing readings, not full blown, but I get choked up too. And then I have to kind of swallow it and like pull myself back again too, and so, but that's because we feel and we care and we love too. And then after reading, sometimes you need to do some grounding, have some food, get some fresh air, drink some water, a little bit of self care. Are you still there, Nancy?
Yeah,
Because you're
great.
frozen. Okay.
Yes, yeah. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. My screen went black.
Okay. Okay. Well, we can see you. You're frozen nice though. You're not in a funny looking frozen position.
You'll have to read the comments.
Okay. All right. Evelyn is saying, when you teach mediumship, do you teach to be a conduit or to transmute negativity or ask guides for protection? I don't do that. I I consider myself a channel, and I'm working with spirit and I'm in the power and I'm trusting the power and I'm operating in love and I'm very much moved into my higher self. Any stuff I have going on, I put to the side and I set that intention and I'm coming in as love too. That doesn't mean it's wrong to ask for protection. You absolutely can do that as a tool of empowerment for you. If you want to transmute, call in the violet flame, or just feel yourself filling up with light too, and know that because you are in a state of love and power, love empowerment too, that is more powerful. So a lot of this is a mindset, but it does take time to get us there. um, Nancy, Michael is offering to Jasmine, develop the skills to compartmentalize the emotions. Yeah, I'm that way
Yes.
too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
absolutely
Great.
compartmentalize. I
Yep.
I could be going through hell and like no one would know because I totally move it out of the way and I'm just focused on what I'm doing. Yeah, very
Exactly.
true. Good job, Michael. Thank you for
Yeah.
helping us with that.
Yeah. Thank you for putting those words together. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
absolutely what we do. Yep. We're not thinking about anything else, just connecting and
yeah,
delivering the messages as best as we can.
yeah. Nancy, I'm going to read for you because I know you're frozen. Jenny's talking about grounding. And then Cup of Tea was saying She started saying nobody is perfect at a young age to soothe herself and others. That is
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa uses crystal bracelets and then she does clearing. If
Oh,
if I
yeah.
don't, she's completely drained. Yeah, it's very common when you're empathic. Very true. Bernadette says she's an untrained medium. It's her tornado most days. Your spirit team, you feel so much. Yeah, I'm going to really recommend learning how to sit in the power, Bernadette. That's going to help you. That's going to be one of your biggest tools, and do it as often as you can.
Yeah.
And that's going to really help you.
Yeah, agree. You can get that to a much more manageable place.
Yeah. Also, things like having a life coach, a therapist, doing that work. We as mediums, we have to spiritualize ourselves and we have to do our work so that we can be the clearest channels, the clearest conduits and channels for spirit for our clients too. That means we have to do the self-care work on ourselves. We come into this with the sort of wounded healer archetype. We got to heal the wound too. It's a must. Otherwise, we're not going to be as good as we should be and can be, and what's potential for us to. Nancy Michael is saying, leave the session behind when it's over. It's hard
Yeah.
at first, but you must not lament what happened during the session. Yeah. But if you've had a really sensitive session. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it might take you a little bit, but you do need to kind of clear your energy and not take it with you.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to you, and yeah, you do need to leave the session behind. And if you are doing multiple readings and taking a break in between to clear your energy is helpful. Taking a little spiritual bath before you go on to the next one, or even if you're not going on to the next one, just kind of clearing the energy.
Yeah. I love that, Nancy. Michael says, we always feel I should have tried harder, or I should have done this or that. We can't carry it with us. Yeah.
Yeah, agree.
We have to learn to let stuff go, and
Yeah,
it's enough work just taking care of ourselves, and if we're taking on other people's problems and other clients stuff, like it's really not ours. It's not ours to carry too, and we've done our part by holding space for them in that half hour or hour that we've been with them.
yeah,
Nancy Krish is talking about using sage or incense to create the ambiance while meditating, and salt. That's a good one. Salt baths.
yes. That is a really
um,
good one. And
yeah.
it's really a matter too of what makes you feel good, because some people don't use any of that. I know that when I'm getting ready to do a demonstration, or do any type of mediumship, I have my, chakra balancing sprays that I'll spray all over myself. I have some Palo Santo spray. It's more of an intentional, and it's a mindset for me that I feel like everything is just kind of clearing. There's a clean slate. I'm bringing spirit in to assist me. And I'm putting the intention with it, if that makes sense. So if that's something that you want to pair with your intention, then by all means that you do that.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I don't do a lot of these tools, but I love them all. I think they are all great tools. And I did more of them at different times. I've done them too, but I'm like with you, Nancy. I set the intention and kind of do a prayer. Sometimes I'll listen to some music just to kind of change. But I just like it's like, okay, now I'm in this space, I'm with spirit, I'm working with love, and
Yeah.
that's the love becomes my protection. It becomes my guide too.
Yeah.
Um, Nancy,
Beautiful.
there's a question about angels from Bernadette. She says, I heard angels never live physical life. How and why do they help humans? Spirit guides I know have lived many lives.
I've heard the same thing as well. I tend to agree. I mean, I don't think any of us know the exact answer, but it sounds plausible that the angels were not human before, and they are here to assist us. They are here to help guide us. even divine intervention that we hear about, if it's not our time, there could be divine intervention that we, didn't ask for, but they felt from a very divine level that they needed to, you know, interject there. So I do think that they were not human, but I do think that our spirit guides, and maybe not all of them, but I do think spirit guides actually could have also had a human life as well. What are your thoughts on that, Jennifer?
Well, Nancy, you're an earth angel in my world, so I think angels are human, and I know many of them.
That is
And
true. That is true.
I I have come to love my human angels probably even more than the ones around me. No offense, I love you too. But, you know, I love you and my other angelic friends, and so I do believe angels can be human if we just have to change our mindset. With spirit helpers too. Hi Juanita. With spirit helpers, they could have lived human lives, or they could have not have human lives and still be a spirit helper. Spirit helpers and guides can also shapeshift. So how
Mhm.
they appear and how they actually are may be very different. So, for example, a guide may come in as a child for a child, so as not to scare the child. Or they may show up as a Native American because that would be something you'd feel more comfortable with and be able to connect with easier. Sometimes even our higher self can manifest guides for us too that aren't necessarily separate for us. And that's a little bit of a different area to go in, but that's a thing too. So your higher self can actually manifest guides for you to interact with, which may necessarily not be other frequencies. And again, I know that's a new thing, but it's a thing. So I'm going to put that out there too. And that's not wrong either. It's all there to help you, it's all there to teach you. And that's why sometimes we have some experiences that we don't quite understand as well too, because some people might be like, well, why did my guide do this, or why did my guide disappear, or something like that. That may actually be someone that your higher self created to help give you certain experiences and things like that too. I'll leave it at that because that could take us down a rabbit hole and a wormhole that I don't want to spend too much time in,
Yeah.
but they can help us. I know my dear friend Shannon, who is also an Earth Angel too. She connects with angels, and she'll be on our show on Saturday too. If you want to come, Bernadette, too, because she connects with the angels, and she connects with all the birth angels and the project man. She calls them the birth angels and the project manager angels, and they come in to do specific things to help out with that too. And you can ask, so you can be like, okay, you need help finding a parking spot. This is where you don't want the human person, you want the spirit angel to come in to help you find a parking spot. So you call in like a parking agent. You absolutely want them. So there's certain things that both are good for. Our human angels and our spiritual counterparts both have different roles and talents that they could give us.
Yeah.
What do you think, Nancy? Because you're
No,
my
agree.
angel.
I do agree with all of that. That is awesome. I don't know. They never seem to help me get a good parking spot, but my sister always gets a good spot. I don't know.
I Uh, I don't know. It was just an idea, but sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. With parking, Nancy, you have to have a lot of patience. You have to drive kind of slow and
Yeah.
like be on your with your spidey senses. I know if you drive too fast, you miss out on a spot too. So it takes
I
like a lot of patience.
know. A lot of patience, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Do we have any other questions? Oh,
Uh,
Bernadette talked to Archangel Michael. And she almost
ooh.
had a heart attack. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that
Oh,
will happen. He's a
okay.
good protector angel.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nancy, do
Um,
you?
Evelyn, it says, Nancy, do you ask? Do you ask? I think she's saying, do you ask for a
Oh, for the
parking?
parking spot? I must not be asking it right. That's all I have to say, Evelyn. Maybe I'm not asking it very nicely. Please, please, can you help me? Like, oh my gosh, where's the spot? I need a spot.
um, Nancy, Jasmine's asking if how do you know if you have a new spirit guide?
Ooh, I feel like spirit guides it's a very personal relationship. I don't know how I can answer that. I think only you would know. Jennifer, what's your thoughts on spirit guides?
Yeah, they can come in and out and they can change. Just some may be with you like your whole life, and that would be a really nice connection to get to know and build. And some may come in like kind of like the project manager angels, and they come in to help with certain things. Um,
Yeah.
and one thing you can do, Jasmine, when you sit in the power is sit in the power to connect with your guides and specifically for that. So that is the intention of why you're sitting for that 20 minutes or so, and ask them to give you a signature. And that way you'll get to know kind of who's who. Usually a signature is going to come in the form of something you can feel energetically, like a little tingle on your crown or a little touch of the shoulder or something like that. And so that way you kind of get to know who's who. They also will feel very different in their frequency. So they feel different in the energy, just like people feel different too. So, learning to work with energy, so understanding your own energy and then getting to feel the energies around you is helpful too. This is why if we try to block out energy too much, we're losing an opportunity to learn to understand and feel energy. So, I would say um, maybe not the big box store, but go into other stores and see how each place feels. Like, what does this place feel like? What does it feel like from the front to the back, or that corner over there? What does this room in your house feel like, and versus that room, a room where it has more people or less people? And because that way you can get to start to understand the different frequencies of different spaces, and then also pay attention to what people feel like. So you have to be kind of open to being able to do that, but that's how you learn. And then, of course, you can always do a clearing technique afterwards if you choose, just like if you're trying food and then you have a cracker to cleanse your palate. You could do
Mm.
something like that too. So that might be helpful. I know I got off on a little tangent there, but that might be helpful too. Sometimes over time, as you get to be more what I'll say is telepathically connected to them, you'll start to feel the changes coming into. So I hope that's helpful
Yeah, that's
too.
great. Lisa Paris is asking, one of my spirit guides is a purple dragon. Do you want to attempt to maybe give her the name of it?
That's my Saturday job, but yes, I will. Let me see what I can get for you. Do you already know? Do you know your purple dragon's name, Lisa? I don't.
Yeah,
I
good
don't.
question.
Let me see. Let me see what I got, and I'll let you take over while I'm doing that. Okay, Lisa.
Okay.
All right.
So Juanita said her mom passed. We're very sorry to hear that, Juanita. Sending you lots of love there. I do definitely feel like she's very much all around you. I also feel like there is a lot of fragranty smells that you've been smelling that remind you of her. Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear
Yeah.
of that. Our moms are such an important part of our life, and it's so difficult when they cross over our parents in general. I've experienced both, and it's not easy. Even with us being mediums, we definitely miss them in the physical form. There's nothing that replaces that.
Yeah. Just sending you a big hug, Juanita. I'm so sorry. That, that's
Yeah, I
oh,
hope she
that's a
knows
hard thing.
that
Um,
daddy. Okay.
do you
Yeah.
have angels guiding you? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially during a time like this where you're grieving the passing of your mom, you're taking care of your father, and you knew the moment. Um, okay. Oh, sorry, I missed that last comment, Kelly. Your mom absolutely does know you're taking care of your dad, because
Mhm.
she can see everything from spirit world. Um, and then I sorry, I lost the other comment that she had too.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm taking care of daddy. I knew the moment something told me to go check on her, and I shook her in her last breath. I hope she knows I tried to help her. Oh, she absolutely knows that you tried to help her, Juanita. And I also feel like I want to go back to Michael's comment that I want to share with Juanita, because I know Michael was talking about when we were talking about being a medium and giving readings and messages, and that the should have, could have, I should have done this or I should have done that. We can't carry it with us. I feel very strongly to share that with you as well. I do feel like don't beat yourself up what you could have done differently. If things didn't go the way that you would have liked them to go within your relationship, I feel a very strong nudge to tell you to let that go. That is not something that she's holding on to at all. There's nothing but pure love and gratitude for you being her daughter.
Yeah, that's a beautiful message, Nancy.
Yeah, she knows,
Yeah.
Juanita. She knows.
Yeah. I'm happy that you were able to help her, Nancy.
Yeah.
You do have good energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, over time, you'll be able to build your connection. I wouldn't say you're blocked to your mom. Just give it
Mm-mm.
some time.
Yeah.
Just give it some time, and continue on with your healing journey. Give it some time. You help a lot of people. You can't do this. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Lots of love to you, Juanita. Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
You will. You'll get connected with the right people that you're supposed to be. Yeah. You're very welcome, Juanita. We're sending you lots of love.
Yeah. That was
Uh,
beautiful, Nancy.
yeah, thank you.
Um,
My heart goes out to her.
um, Real quick for Lisa, for your dragon, he gave me the name Jason, and because he wants to let you know what Jason is, and when I looked it up, it means a healer, to heal, healer, strength, and leadership. So
Mm,
that's kind of perfect for you, is to know that your guide works in that capacity of healing and strength. But also know that guides are also frequency matches to you, so that's letting you know that you are also a healer. You are also an emitter of strength. You are also a leader as well, too. So you
yeah.
are on that journey together. It's a partnership with the two of you. And so the guides just remind you of who you really are, too. Or you like to say you also are. I don't like to say really are, also are. Too.
That's
You're very
cool.
welcome.
Wow.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Evelyn, thank you for mentioning that. This is for Juanita. She said this month's issue of Edify Your Soul would be a great read for everybody, but she's talking about Juanita.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, Juanita, edifyyoursoulmagazine.com. It's free to read online, and the whole month is about surviving loss and moving through grief. I believe it was supposed to go live yesterday, but I think it's going to be today or tomorrow. She was having a tech issue with that, so I don't think it's actually gone live yet. But by tomorrow, it should be too. So just keep that in mind. Thank you, Evelyn, for bringing that up, because there's several articles on that should be helpful for you, where you've got to be able to get at least one thing, if not many, that will help you with that. Thank you, Evelyn. Okay. Mm, okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Bernadette was asking if you
Get out
might,
there
do you
for a
want to do a
minute.
message
Yeah. Beautiful
for
read.
yeah. Nancy, would you like to do a message for I know we're getting them on the hour here, but Bernadette was saying it was Father's Day yesterday. And she was looking for a message. Did we lose Nancy? Oh dear. All right. Goodness gracious. Okay. Kelly, did we lose Nancy? I think we did. Okay. So what I'm gonna do a quick link for you, because we are getting on the hour. Okay. Oh wait, she's back.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I was like, oh no. I
As a
wanted
good
to give
one.
that one to you. I wanted to give that one to you, Nancy. It was Bernadette was asking 'cause it was Father's Day yesterday, and she wanted to know if her dad had a message for her. I know we're a little bit past the hour now. Are you able are you
Yes.
still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine. We can't see you, but we can hear you. So Bernadette, if you could just keep up with Nancy in the chat.
Okay.
She is traversing the universe. She's multidimensional, Evelyn. Well done.
Yeah, I'll keep kind of checking in to make sure that you can.
Okay. Yeah, she's just saying she's still here with us. Sorry, I was muted. Okay, I'm unmuted now. So, okay, so Nancy's having some tech issues, so I don't want to leave you hanging, Bernadette, too. So, and again, I do understand Father's Day too. It's like for those of us who have fathers in spirit, we're missing them. We're wishing that they were here in the physical with us as well too. So, thank you for sharing that with us, so that we can kind of honor that. Um, as much as some of those days are very fun to celebrate our moms and dads too, they can also be very hard because we're missing the people and wanting them here in the physical with us too, Bernadette. Okay. And Bernadette, would you understand with your dad, there's a connection to a different state than where you're in now? Because I do feel like I want to go out of state to a different area that he would have come from or traveled from or moved from, if you would understand that too. I also want to go to darker hair. I also know that he makes me feel kind of very lean or very straight, if you would understand that too. So if you could just kind of check in with me in the comments too. And he has this very like sturdy posture as I'm connecting with him too, as well as too. And I'm also hear him saying like that he does talk to you and that you can feel him. And so it's like he's saying he's never left you, he's never gone anywhere with you too. So that's what I'm also feeling from him too. Okay. In Haiti. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going actually out of the country too. Thank you. That was bringing me that to my attention too. And then he had this just very kind of like lean, straight posture that he brings into my awareness for too. And I get dark hair with him too. But he lets me know that he's always been with you. And he's like, I haven't left you. I haven't gone anywhere too. And I don't know if that's comforting for you, but that is what I hear him saying to you, because he does have this kind of like soft feel. Okay. Okay. Um, I actually feel like he's trying to, but we may not be getting quite we might not be getting the message when he's giving it to. So you may not be fully aware when he is around. But I do feel like you can build that connection so that it'll be a little bit easier for you too. So again, you can sit with him, sit in the silence, sit in the power. So what I want you to do, Bernadette, is when you go to practice this, you're going to imagine you have a little light right here in your heart, and you're going to imagine that light getting really big and filling up the room. So you're opening up your awareness and allowing your focus to be on this open awareness too. And eventually your thinking is going to subside and won't go so much with all of the thoughts. But so you need to open all of your auric field up, your energy, your love, everything, fill up the space with your essence too. Okay. And then you set that intention. I want to feel my dad. And so you can start to feel his frequency, start to feel his signature. And that's going to let you get to know him more energetically, so that you'll be more aware when he is around, because he actually is around you more than you're realizing, is what I'm getting for you too. But I do know he was very present. He does yesterday with you too. He does show me a ladybug for you as well as a symbol of his love for you. So please look for that too. I also see him pointing to the sky. So if you point and you see like an airplane or a bird or something like that, he's letting me know like that's also him getting your attention too. He also lets me know that different different pieces of music, he tries to get your attention, like listen to that song, because there's either something in the title, the message, or the artist that he's communicating to you with. I hope that makes understand. He's also saying something about his back. So I don't know if this is his back or you have a back issue, but he's bringing that to my attention just as an evidential piece as well too. But he actually makes me really want to have a good posture. So there's something to do with the back and the posture and the way that he's making me sit as I'm feeling into that too. And let me just check your comments here. Okay. You can understand our language. Okay. Okay. You do understand the birds, the airplanes, and the ladybugs. Thank you too. Okay. Um, and also, Bernadette, what I can say is he can communicate with you telepathically. Okay, it's your spine chronic pain. Okay, so I'm very sorry that you're having to go through that too. And so also you can sit and ask for healing as well, but you can also ask for guidance to help you find the right professional medical advice for you to help you manage that and hopefully improve that as well too, because I'm not a doctor and I don't diagnose, but he was showing that to me as well. So, but what I'm going to say is when you communicate with him too, it's a telepathic thing and you can hear it and it can translate into a language that you can understand. It just takes a little bit of time and practice. So I'm just going to ask to just give it a little bit of patience. And the first thing is that he's there, and like that's magical. Just to know that he's there with you is super magical just in itself. You say, okay, my dad's here, right? And he's here and he's loving you every time that he comes too. And too, he's got a little sense of humor too. So I know he's trying to lift your spirits and like make you laugh and make you smile too, which is a beautiful gift. We always love that from our divine masculine, right? To like make us laugh and like uplift our spirits, right? So I do feel like he's gives you that as well too, to try to so he tries to like tell you little jokes or draw your attention to funny little things so that you kind of like laugh and smile all of a sudden too. So I love that about your dad. But please know he is with you, and now he's given you some of those synchronicities and signs. He's going to keep at it. He's a hardworking man, you know, and so as a spirit dad, he's going to keep at letting you know that he's there. He's going to be very consistent. He is very devoted to you. So I hope that's helpful. I'm going to leave you with his love, Bernadette. And so I want to thank you for allowing me to make this connection for you this evening too. So, okay, my beautiful angels, I'm going to take us to a close. I know we've lost Nancy, her computer connection cut short, but I know she's with us here. And oh, she made it back. Thank you. All right. Phew. Okay. Okay. So Nancy, I was just going to bring us to a close because we're about an hour and 15 minutes now too. So I'll leave you the final thoughts there, Nancy. You're very welcome, Bernadette.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us tonight. I really appreciate the fact that we were able to kind of dive into some of these sensitive topics, and we really send everybody so much love. You know, for any of the loss that you've experienced or experiencing, I really want to leave everybody with, you know, transformation and really evolving, and kind of a little bit about what Jennifer talked about, like how can we live our best life? How can we flourish? You know, how can we thrive and not just wake up every day just to get by, just to do the same old thing? You know, really think about all of that. Think about what you want this life to be for you, because quite honestly, it could be one big, beautiful life and it's yours. And you do only get to be you in this one lifetime. So make the most of it, leave your imprint on the world, you know, for yourself, for your family, for your friends. Just show up for yourself and be the best version of yourself that you can be. So I leave everybody with so much love.
That's beautiful, Nancy. Vivian asked, I feel like that was a collective message, but I did pull a card really quick and I got this Child of the Moon. Isn't that really pretty? And it says forgiveness, transcending the ego. And I'm just going to say loving the ego, or bringing the ego into wholeness. That's, you know, I'm always very kind and gentle with that word too, but that's the work we did. And I actually feel like that's what we did today, Nancy, as a group. We all did that tonight. So that card really is saying like what our purpose was today. And it just says like, ding, look what we did. That's so
That's right.
beautiful. So
We did it together too.
we did it all together. So, well, thank you,
Yeah.
Nancy, for the opportunity to be part of this beautiful show with you. I love you very much, and we'll give a shout out to our Kelly Brickle for taking good care of us. She does a lot of work in the background to make all of this happen. So she's awesome. And thanks to everybody who's tuned in and for your comments and your interacting with all of us. So lots of love to everybody.
Yes. Thank you for your patience with our technical difficulties. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we made it. We did it. Bye, everybody. Have a great night. See you next month.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you.